Welcome everyone, Star Flag Media,
Yo, 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 yo,
Drunken
yo.
Idiots. My name's Anthony, and I'm here with
Talents, aka Chris, man. What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Hey,
Like, subscribe, and then like
share.
and subscribe again.
Please share, create a new account, and like, subscribe, and share that. We're trying to get to 1,500 subscribers. We're right on the verge of 14. We're
Yes.
right on that line. So yeah, keep us going, guys. Uh, Last episode we had, 2 weeks ago now, because this is by the time this airs, is a the Kendrick Lamar and Drake and Rick Ross and Kanye got in there, and everybody took a
Yeah,
swing
yeah,
last round, and we kind of were halfway point, and now I think everything's pretty much
yeah. The
done.
dust the dust is settled, and I kind of wanted to rant and go off on this because Drake did better than what I thought he was going to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I was rooting for Drake because he's the underdog. And underdog could be subjective, right? Because a lot of people are saying, how is Drake the underdog when he's the number one artist and all this type
Yeah,
of
he's the
stuff?
top selling rapper
But I'm
probably
like,
in
bro,
this
that's
genre.
Kendrick Lamar. He's a lyricist.
Those that know.
Yeah. So I thought he was the underdog, and he was rapping. Drake was rapping. He was rapping, and he did good, but he ain't do good enough. And Kendrick basically hit him with a back to back, man. He stepped on, not even stepped, he stomped on all of Drake's releases.
Yeah, even when after he got baited and dropped the track that was full of misinformation that was purposefully baited,
Yeah,
he still came back from that like it didn't even happen.
yeah, yep. Because Kendrick dropped the daughter song, right?
Right.
Which was good. It was good. And then Drake came out later on that day. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna say, I don't know, 6 hours later. It was
Yeah.
later on that day. And then he dropped the song. And then right after Drake dropped his song,
Hmm.
not even an hour later, uh, Kendrick drops Family Matters or something. He dropped another one.
Yeah, it was. He had it ready.
And then he dropped the like that. Man, listen. The internet is I seen Beyonce dancing to it. I seen people uh lean, rock, doing all of that, snapping.
The editing was amazing.
It just goes with everything, and it's a bop. It's definitely culture. Um, the whole song itself,
Yeah.
it was. He said, "Don't go to Cell Block One." So you got the jails. Like, oh, okay, the jails. He
Hmm.
was using it was a Cali beat. He was using Cali lingo. Then he brought up all the Atlanta rappers. So now you got Atlanta into it, and then it's like, man, it's a hit. It's a great song.
Yeah.
It's a great song. But yeah, the dust is settled, and you know, um, I think it was good. It was a moment, and I enjoyed the moment for what it was. We got good music. I was entertained. I was thoroughly entertained.
Hmm.
As far as rap beefs go, in my opinion, it was a little gossipy. It was a little chatty.
Yeah.
It was mudslinging. It wasn't.
It was definitely. It
It
was
was too
definitely
chatty.
just shit talking, but it wasn't really. It wasn't like it used to be. Let's just say it that
Yeah,
way.
it
Yeah.
wasn't. It wasn't.
It was definitely National Enquirer gossip.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was gossip.
It wasn't Tupac saying,
No, it wasn't.
because
It, it,
Tupac said what he
it
said
wasn't Jay Z Nas. It
at the
wasn't
same.
Pac. Yeah,
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 Tupac said what he said, and then
yeah,
the same day, the Source magazine had him on the cover with him and Faith.
right.
And then what Jay-Z said? Oh
Yeah, the
yeah,
type of stuff that they used to say, like if you catch him outside, you gotta fight him.
yeah. Jay-Z said Jay-Z versus Nas. Jay-Z said he left the empty mag. He left the used condom in Nas's child's car seat.
Which is crazy.
Like
You gotta fight him. If you see him, you gotta fight him. I don't think any of the stuff that really came out. It was funny, and uh, I wouldn't fight over any of the stuff that really came out. It was hilarious. But it was good. It was good. Uh, I think Kendrick, he saved his position. Drake isn't gonna get hurt by this because he still got his female fan base and his overall pop culture fan base.
They going hard for him.
And right before, yeah, they are. Right before we turned the cameras on, we said that because of how this went down for Drake, everybody forgot J. Cole apologized.
Yeah, that's my boy. They social media. I guess the dude was flying a drone,
Okay.
and they found J. Cole at the beach,
Hanging out with his
hanging
wife,
out with his
happy,
girlfriend or wife.
glad
Yeah,
he wasn't a part of this.
and yeah, Cole living his
Yeah.
best life.
And then Drake's mansion gets shot up.
Yeah, yeah,
So a lot happened between our last podcast and this one.
yeah, man. So Drake, man, you did good.
You get a B plus the whole time.
You perform you
You
did your
were
thing. I
above
think
average.
yeah, you was above average and pause. And I think
No Diddy.
you should probably chill out
Yeah.
and come back with don't chill out too long. Just drop a hit next month, bro, and you'll be good. You wait too long, it's a wrap. And Kendrick got an album coming out soon too, so
This is, another thing why
it's a
I always
rollout.
this is why I always say this is a lot of manufactured BS sometimes, perhaps. Promotion, good promotion. Either way, people are gonna pick that up.
Yeah, you want to go
But
conspiracy theory?
but now you wanna go even harder. We can do that if you want. Yeah.
So
What's your
all right,
conspiracy?
so Drake and Kendrick are also they're both a part of UMG Universal Music
Yeah,
Group,
same label.
and Universal Music Group are having renegotiations with TikTok because they took all their music off of
Mm-hmm.
TikTok. And I think conspiracy is all right. So they parted ways from the negotiation table,
Yeah.
and now we got all these beefs and everybody dissing each other.
Like you must have this
So
on your
you gotta
platform.
have these songs on that platform, especially
Right.
with TikTok. You know,
Right.
with
Yeah, it's pretty huge.
man.
But
So
we don't know. TikTok might be going away soon. U.S. government passed that law, so now they're getting countersued. But we can talk about that some other
okay,
time.
all right.
TikTok may be a thing of the past in the near future, or they have to sell. But yeah. So a lot happened. That's the. I think this is pretty much it. Even if Drake comes out with another song, it would be. I think the height of this.
I don't
Beef.
think he needs to come on another song.
Yeah, it would
He all
go
set. He
do your
already
own
lost.
thing, and Drake, Kendrick, go do your own thing. I think it's over. Um, but yeah, I mean, so yeah, that's what happened, and we're gonna talk now a little bit about the last two episodes of Xmen '97.
Oh man, Xmen.
Yeah, so we're on episode 9, but we didn't talk about episode 8. We talked a little bit about
What's the
episode
synopsis
7.
for episode 8?
So episode 8 is part 1 of the Tolerance is Extinction line. Um, Basically, the UN reveals to the world that Xavier is alive.
Okay. Yep.
He's inciting anti-mutant protests outside the school, which, of course,
Yep.
because it turns out like maybe he did this to sympathize, have
Yeah.
people sympathize with mutants. Cable then explains to the X-Men that the Genosha massacre is an absolute point in time that cannot be changed.
Okay.
It always is going to happen. And then Bastion will use it to start a 300-year war, which will lead to the enslavement of mutants in a human utopia. So there is a utopia coming, but it's only for humans. Cyclops, Jean, and Cable travel to Harmony, Pennsylvania, where they learn that Bastion is a human-machine hybrid who's conceived after his father was infected with an advanced time-traveling Sentinel Nimrod. So he can now procreate with other humans, and they become Sentinels.
Yep.
Members of Operation Prime Sentinels like Trask, using Sinister's techno-organic virus, are infecting people. And Prime Sentinels are now being activated around the world, attacking mutants, burn down Charles Xavier's school. Horrified, Cooper releases Magneto, who then creates a worldwide blackout that kills thousands of people and shuts down all of the Prime Sentinels.
Okay, so that's the synopsis of both episodes.
Nope. That's just episode 8.
Oh.
And then Wolverine fears that Magneto has declared war as Xavier returns and summons his X-Men.
Okay.
So that's episode 8.
Okay, so episode
Yeah,
8
that was a badass episode.
Episode 8 was great. Now I can't remember the order of how everything happened, but
In that order.
what I will say is Wolverine and Nightcrawler had
The
a, a
most,
moment to shine.
thank God. Because
Um
episode 1 through 7, Wolverine's been a background player.
yeah. Yeah,
He had that
Wolverine.
one cool moment with Gambit when they fought the Sentinels initially, and Gambit like supercharges his claws.
Mhm.
He had that one cool moment, but it was just a moment. This time they gave him an anime style fight scene
Yep.
with Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler badass for the first
He
time.
had three Nightcrawler had three swords, two in his hand, one on his tail, and he was just teleporting and
Yep.
doing.
Wolverine does the classic. You're gonna have to deal with these 6 blades, bub. And
Yep.
Nightcrawler says 9.
Yep.
But the teleportation, the fight scene,
Yeah.
and they show the perspective of when they get sucked into like the
That was
portal,
cool.
and you see Wolverine like still holding composure while he's getting dragged into this portal.
Yep.
Oh, what a
Something that I would have never thought you could even try to do
Visualize.
through animation.
what it would be like to go through a
Yeah.
portal.
Through and it's animated.
Yeah, and just to the way they stretched it out slightly to kind of
Yep.
convey that he's being pulled.
Yep.
Oh my God, it was badass.
Yeah, it was a great episode. The WTF moment of that episode for me was, I forget her name, but she let Magneto out.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
think
the one I
that's
said Cooper.
Cooper. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that's Rogue.
Well, why would it be Rogue? You mean Mystique?
I mean Mystique. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
Mystique.
Maybe we'll find out.
I think that's Mystique. But she let Magneto out, and
We haven't seen her this whole season.
She said Magneto was right,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean Magneto. Shit, Magneto was right.
Hard to say not.
And she let Magneto out, and to me, I was like, "Yo, Magneto, he just he ain't
went
even
in.
think, he ain't even hesitate.
Nope.
He was out. He went straight to the North Pole.
Mm-hmm.
EMP,
Earth's magnetic pull.
shut all that shit down,
Mm-hmm.
and just like, man, fuck this. I tried, and he, to be fair,
He did give it a he gave it a solid go.
He gave it a solid go with the UN
Mm-hmm.
when Storm lost her powers.
Yeah.
The Genosha attack, like he tried.
He tried.
He tried. I could see him having a breaking point, and like,
Yeah, that scene was badass when you see him at the pole of the Earth and he's using the Earth's magnetic field, because of course he could. This was things that like Storm would hint at, like when she would do her storms around them and stuff. She would be like, I can feel his power, and be like, yeah, of course you can, because electromagnetic and you're pulling out lightning and all that shit, of course. So there's very few people that can manipulate the entire planet's ecosystem. Magneto's one of them.
Yeah.
Storm's another one.
Yep.
And holy crap, he shut down the entire planet's electricity pretty much. So all these Prime Sentinels go down.
Everybody who's on life,
everybody's dead.
Makers,
everybody's dead.
Pacemakers,
life support, anything. Every hospital shut down. But it was one of those moments where he was like, "F it, I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do." So that was episode 8, and I would give that an A. That episode is an A.
Yeah, it was great.
They haven't missed yet. The weakest episode of the whole series so far has been Jubilee episode.
I think that was that
was a palate cleanser.
I think we got a lot of 10s for this season.
Yeah.
I think the first 10 was episode 4, episode 5.
Yeah.
When Gambit died.
Yeah. The Genosha episode was incredible. Episode 5.
Episode 5. That was a 10.
Yeah, my God, it's gonna be hard to top.
I think episode
such a surprise episode.
8 was a.
It's an A. It's an A.
I
it's
think
like
it was
a
like
9
a
out of
9.
10. Yeah, they're swinging hard,
Yeah.
man. There hasn't been a bad one yet. Even the Jubilee episode, which is like a C in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's a very average episode, but that was like a fun bubblegum. It was definitely a Jubilee episode.
Yeah.
If you were gonna make a Jubilee episode, that was it.
Wow.
And then we move on to episode 9. We're almost at the end of this season.
Yeah.
We got one more left.
They just got to stick the landing.
Yeah, I'm. they had me at the beginning worried. I am no longer worried. Let's just say that. I think we're good. And then part 2 of the tolerance is extinction. We're gonna get one more on May 15th. Part 2 is Xavier uh, finally, tells his X-Men he's back. He is met with distrust by some of the X-Men, of course, because he lied
Yep.
to them. But the X-Men focus on stopping Bastion and convincing Magneto to reverse his blackout. Magneto then decides he's going to reestablish his mutant haven on asteroid M, choosing to leave Earth without power and reject Xavier's dream of mutant or human coexistence.
Yeah, he said.
And then he tells the X-Men to join him. And of course, they are led to a decision where Roberto, Sunspot, and Rogue decide to join him.
I think
so. We're gonna pause right here because this is a pivotal scene in my opinion. There's a very it's something that when I because I rewatched the episode.
I think they faked to. I think they pretended to join Magneto.
Oh, I don't think so. Because Rogue used to be a villain anyway, and she here's why I don't think so. This is the reason why. In that scene, Rogue is wearing Gambit's jacket.
Yep.
And when Xavier's giving his good guy speech.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up, Charles.
Yep.
Which was what Magneto says.
Yep. He giving his good guy speech. Rogue looks at him and says, "No."
Because she witnessed.
Right. You weren't there.
Yep. She witnessed what happened in Genosha.
I was there. And I made a commitment to all of those people that died that I was going to lead us into the next.
Because she was
going to be Magneto's queen.
Yep.
And she takes off the jacket and she puts it on Charles's shoulder. Now it's basically Gambit's death is your fault.
Okay.
So
symbolism, I peeped that.
Yeah. So she takes off the jacket and puts it on Charles's Xavier, and Charles's face, he's just looking down. He got nothing to say to her.
Yeah.
Because he was gone. Yep. He wasn't there. And then she leaves. So you got to understand this. Gambit's death hit her.
It hit her the hardest.
Hardest, absolutely. So I think she was legit.
Okay.
Roberto got nothing to lose, as he said. My mom.
His mom turned him into the Sentinels. So I get Roberto.
Yeah. So both of them were.
He hit the shit for
his whole life
for the longest.
Yeah, he knew.
Then he finally tells her, and then she make offhand remarks or whatever. She turned him in. He's just like, man, fuck that.
Yep, I don't have any family. And Jubilee tries and says, my family, but we're family. No.
And she's like, yo, I'm not an X-Men. Like,
yeah, I'm not. So Sunspot leaves and Rogue leaves.
Yep.
Great scene. So we've been praising all the scenes with like the fighting and the destruction.
The writing is also
yes, good. This is one of those scenes where you look at the writing and you're like, oh my God, there's so much going on in this one scene. God, it's good.
So, but pause.
Yep.
I'll give X-Men credit because the writing on this is great.
It is.
One of the reasons why I champion Invincible is for the writing and the storytelling. Mm-hmm. So I did not think that X-Men 97 was going to commit to this.
Right. It's so different. It's not though. It's very much in line with what the original series is, but this is
but it's
more mature.
It's great.
It is great
because they kept up.
Yeah.
They kept so
absolutely.
I was thinking it was gonna be bubblegum, and they had a little bit more money, so there was probably the animation was gonna be better.
Yeah,
but I didn't expect the writing.
Yeah, and I don't even think the animation is technically better or worse. I just think it's
compared to the original.
Yeah, and they're keeping it visually in line with the original series on purpose.
I think they got way more fight scenes. I think that's
yeah. There's more that they can do. Obviously, technology's come a long way in 30 years. But, yeah. I mean, so far the writing has been top notch. I agree. Then after that scene, the X-Men return to their former base in Muir Island to regroup. And then they split into two teams. Cyclops forms the blue team, and they're going to go to Asteroid M to confront Magneto. This
Oh,
is a cool
wait,
scene.
hold on. Before we even get there, Charles is so we ain't even talk about how Magneto pulled up. He pulled up with the asteroid.
Yeah, I said that.
Okay, all right. I thought it was badass how he pulled up with the
Yeah,
Aurora
because he,
Borealis over the asteroid.
yeah,
This nigga just
do what he do.
this,
So
he think he
what's
got.
cool is that they go to their, because the mansion is destroyed in New York. They go to Muir Island, right?
Yeah.
So to form these two groups, here's the badass part, in my opinion, was they find their old school uniforms there.
Well, it was held there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's where they used to
Yeah.
be. So Cyclops puts on his old with the cap.
Yep.
Wolverine puts on the brown and
Yep.
gold uniform, and Rogue comes out with her classic green miniskirt. It's the 1970s X-Men, and we all knew Storm was already wearing the black from the 70s when she came back with Forge.
Yeah.
But it's a little touch, a little nod. We know they're gonna go back to their X-Men uniform from the 90s, but this was for the even older fans of the
Yep.
show who are watching and going, "That's my X-Men."
Yep.
So, and also the fact that there's a split team is also a nod to the comic books when there were two concurrent running X-Men groups. And so there's group,
It was like what the Uncanny X-Men and
yeah,
then
yeah, the amazing or whatever it was, the
yeah.
astonishing X-Men, whatever. But there were two groups and they were all X-Men, but yeah, there were two groups.
Yeah.
So Cyclops gets the blue team. They go to Asteroid M to confront Magneto, while Storm and Jean form the gold team,
And they go to the
Bastion's hideout in
Yep.
the Galapagos Islands. Beast and Forge, what a good pairing. The two geniuses.
Yeah.
Beast and Forge create a collar that can block Bastion's technopathy. Now, they give us a synopsis that he is a technopath, so he can control anything that's technology oriented. So what does he use that for? To control the Prime Sentinels that Magneto had basically shut down. Bastion can still make these things work.
Yeah.
So they create a collar, hopefully to sever his control over these Sentinel
I
Prime.
like so all right, boom. Pause.
Mm-hmm.
I like that scene because as they're developing the Forge and Beast is developing the collar.
Right.
And she says, "Yeah, we could just neutralize them all on his own." And Storm gives 3 looks cuz she just got her powers back.
Yeah.
So she's just like doing her own thing.
Like
And they
these.
say, "Yeah, we're going to neutralize her powers." And she looks up
Yeah.
and then you just hear the thunder crash and she look at them niggas
Yeah.
and she was
Like whose
like, "No.
powers? Yeah.
No. We do it without that." But
She knows what it feels like to lose her powers.
So I thought that was cool. It was just
little things, man. Little
shit.
things, man. Absolutely, it's little things. So Beast and Forge create the collar that can block his technopathy. The gold team then goes on and battles the army of Bastion-controlled Sentinels, as well as Mr. Sinister, who shows back up to be an asshole for no reason. Just other than he's Mr. Sinister.
He wasn't the only person on Instagram getting hit with bowling balls this week.
Yo, I saw that video. They had a whole fight in a bowling alley. But anyway, Mr. Sinister takes control of Cable's mind and uses him to overpower Jean. She then sends a desperate psychic message to Cyclops,
which was dope because I think the Phoenix is coming back.
We might get that. So we see Cable just effing her up, and it's rare to see Jean Grey getting effed up because she's probably the most powerful X-Men. And Cable is putting in the work. So that makes him a very incredibly powerful.
He said, "Yo, you know what's one thing about being born from a telepathic it
doesn't go away. That's a skip a generation. Yeah. So he's got a little bit of a control that she wasn't aware of.
Yeah.
Which is good because Cable's a badass character. I always like Cable. We get to see him be a badass character. So
you get to see him use his fucking psychic powers.
Yeah, and we see Cyclops telepathically look at Jean as she's getting murdered, pretty much. So we don't know if she's dead. We will find out hopefully soon. Or does she come back at the Phoenix? We will find out. Because right now we got like 3 or 4 different X-Men storylines going at the exact same time.
Yeah,
And they're merging them beautifully. So we fast forward to Asteroid M. Xavier attempts to take control of Magneto's mind, which he does a pretty damn good job at. He got Magneto, he got him crying.
Yep.
Damn you, Xavier! What are you doing to me? And because Magneto, people forget how powerful Charles is.
Yeah, because he don't never go out on a
He
mission.
doesn't. Yeah, and when he does, and you finally see it, and he's putting Magneto, because Magneto is the top dude, and you see Charles making him suffer and weak is not something you see often. Magneto's always on top. He loses battles and all that, but he's usually the guy winning.
Yeah.
So he tries to take control of Magneto's mind, but then is blocked. And once he's blocked, because Magneto shoves the helmet on Xavier, which makes it difficult for Xavier to use his powers. So as soon as you think that Magneto is on top, Wolverine then stabs Magneto and seriously injures Magneto.
So, all right. So I love that scene. I loved it because
Wolverine gives him the whisper in the ear.
Yeah. No, not because of
no, but I like this. What he's told him. He's like, it's always the good guys that fall first, bub.
So,
what
did it for me was like, all right, boom. At the end of episode 8, I said, yo, Magneto gonna be on some rah-rah shit. He gonna be a problem. And I remember in the group chat, he was like, nah, he's not.
Well, he's Magneto.
And I was like, man, he gonna go crazy. And when we did that,
we get the response.
But
it was great because how often have you seen Magneto pretty much at the brink of death?
I've never seen it.
So we see Wolverine, who's the most unlikely of anybody to get that close to Magneto.
Yep.
And we find out why in just a second. Rips completely through his rib cage, and you see it come out the chest of Magneto. You see
the claws come out from his back to out the
just
top
out
of his chest.
Yeah. And Wolverine gives his badass, I got you. You're done.
Yeah.
And
Magneto turns around.
Magneto then looks at him.
And it was instinct. It was just raw. It was raw retaliation.
I'm gonna die, but guess what?
And he's just said,
if I'm gonna die, you're gonna die too. Because guess what? Wolverine his whole skeleton is covered in
adamantium metal.
So Magneto then begins to rip the adamantium metal from Wolverine's skeleton. We see it literally ripped out through his pores as the episode ends.
Magneto a boss.
So
Magneto a boss.
Yeah, I mean you're Wolverine, and so I before
that happened, Wolverine tried to approach Magneto, and he made him. He retracted his claws and pushed them away.
And that was merciful.
Because when the first
Let's be real, that was merciful.
The first time Wolverine tried to attack Magneto, Rogue put him down gently.
Yeah, again. So in that battle, there's a couple of scenes.
There's
a couple of because he was gonna get him.
Yeah.
If it wasn't because Rogue saved him.
But that
would have also happened to him regardless.
And then
Jubilee and Sunspot have their moment.
Put him down gently. It's
Sunspot hits Jubilee, and he's like, "Hey, babe, I'm sorry." Pretty much, I'm so sorry. And Jubilee, like, "Fuck, you're sorry." Jubilee has a little moment where she actually shows off that her fireworks are a little bit sparklier than we thought they would be. She actually tries to attack Magneto too at one point.
Yeah.
And gives him like a solid try.
Yeah.
Quickly goes poorly for her. She's the weakest X-Men.
Yeah.
But Sunspot and her, especially if Sunspot starting to develop his powers, he's still at his weakest. He later on is not weak X-Men. He's one of the badasses.
He got to be.
He's one of the
Is he Omega?
No, but
No?
he's
Okay.
like right up there. He can literally can absorb the sun's power and use that.
Yeah, that's dope.
He can radiate the sun's energy.
Yeah.
He's badass. An Omega level X-Men that we haven't seen this season that hopefully we get to see is Iceman.
Okay.
You know how Magneto can do what he does with the polar ice caps? Iceman can pretty much do that to the atmosphere and freeze the entire planet.
Yeah.
Which is badass.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, anyway, but we diverge. Wolverine gets his adamantium completely ripped out.
You fuck around, you find out.
We know for sure now we're going to get Bone Claw Wolverine. Wolverine's not going to die from this, guys. Spoiler alert. He's not. Because his guy has level
of
around. Yeah, but
he found out.
So we're more than likely going to see Bone Claw Wolverine, which is from a different book, but it makes sense to add him now because of this, right? So it's probably the Onslaught series. Maybe that's for season 2. Maybe that's for season 2.
He put the helmet on Magneto and
on
Xavier and he fused.
Yeah. So we might see an Onslaught storyline, which would be crazy for season 2. We get Bone Claw Wolverine. Episode 10 is the season finale. We haven't even reached. We haven't even reached the last episode yet.
I think this episode was a 10.
Yeah, it was up there, man. It was up there.
I want to see the finale. I hope they stick the landing. Pause.
Yeah, I don't see them faltering.
And then at the beginning, when episode 1 came out, right?
Yeah.
My thoughts were, I hope it's not bad, and they fired the director. They fired the showrunner,
right?
And
who we already had like major concerns about.
Yeah, and now
turns out
on episode 9,
probably the best thing that ever happened.
Now on episode 9, I'm like, shit.
I wish they wouldn't have fired him.
They fired the showrunner,
the wrong dude
who got the first 2 seasons.
You know, before the show came out last year, and he came out and he said, "I'm going to tell this story from a perspective of a gay black man." That really put up a lot of red flags for me. And I've seen a few little things here and there, but they haven't been so over the top, hitting me over the head. Pause. But it's been more like,
it was
I get it.
Subtle.
It was subtle.
Some things.
There was a little colonialism and calling people colonists, and there was the morph and Wolverine gay thing at the beginning of the season.
I caught that. I ain't catch the colonialism.
Oh, when Charles is preaching to the aliens, and he's telling them how you took over all these planets and you think that you're bringing a better society to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then he goes, but you don't understand the value of their culture and their. Okay. So yeah, it's a little bit of colonialism going on in there.
Yeah, you're right.
And I get it.
You're right.
I get it, but let's be real. Like the people that he was preaching to were definitely bringing peace in the universe.
Yeah.
Through that horrible colonialism, but it was still peace in the universe. In their part of the galaxy, and that's what they were trying to bring to Earth. That's what they wanted, Charles, and blah 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 blah. The show has his woke moments, but when hasn't X-Men been that?
Well, X-Men was always
from the beginning.
X-Men was always woke.
That was Stan Lee's
vision.
Magneto
was Malcolm X by any means necessary, and Xavier was Martin Luther King.
Yeah,
turn the other cheek. And
peace
we'll
and
overcome.
And let's be together. And they're both interesting takes on the same subject. Stan Lee knew what he was doing when he created this group, and the showrunner got fired because of his little exploits outside of his. Let's call them extracurricular activities. He had a blue account.
The nigga was on OnlyFans.
He had a blue account.
The nigga was on OnlyFans.
And you can't do that while
God know who's what.
And you can't.
Once you get hired by
Disney, I'm sure. That's my point.
Once you get hired by Disney,
you got to get off of that.
You got to stop, bro.
You got to get off of that. You got to delete and erase. You got.
You getting Disney checks, bro?
Yo, you're in charge of the X-Men.
Hold on. We're gonna take a second.
Chris's corner.
Chris's corner, bro.
Everybody, welcome to Chris's corner.
Follow me a second, bro. As a black man, I don't care what you do. As a man, you do whatever you want. I don't care. I don't care. Do you? Uh do what thou wilt. Right?
Sure.
Is that the saying? Do what
Whatever
thou
it
wilt.
is.
Yo, do whatever makes you happy. But as a black man, nigga, you getting Disney checks? Why the fuck is you on OnlyFans doing gay fuck shit or whatever the fuck you do? Cause it's none of my business. But what is my business is cause you're black and you're in the black community, nigga. Why did you fuck up? Why would you risk fucking up a check from Disney, bro? Like that's stupid, stupid. Why the fuck
You've
would you?
got one of the most
Stupid.
popular Marvel
It's not even
franchises.
about
No,
Marvel.
it's
You get a
both.
check from Disney,
It's
nigga.
both.
You doing you yo? How the fuck could you get a check from Disney, right? And then say, "Oh yeah, I'm still about to go to OnlyFans." Nigga, you stupid. You stupid. How the fuck up a check 1-on-1? Nigga,
Well,
you
some people
dummy.
think, with their other brain. Um,
Idiot.
yeah, thanks for joining us at Chris's Corner. With that said, we know we got a solid season 1
We got a solid season. Pause. We might have a solid season 2.
because the same script has been written out and it's hard to go back now.
Yeah.
I think season 1 has been, if I have so far, it is an A+. This has been amazing. Because of the characters, because of my rose tinted glasses growing up with the X-Men, I still prefer this show over Invincible, especially at this point. It did not let me down. I went in with very low expectations, whereas Invincible, I didn't have any expectations, and it set the bar for me. It set the bar for me, which has been an amazing bar.
That's good.
Yeah, and that's a huge compliment to Invincible. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah.
And then I feel like X-Men has met that bar.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's
I
better.
agree.
I'm gonna say
I don't
it's
think
as good.
I don't think any is better.
Yeah,
But
I think it's as good.
I think I agree with you. Invincible set a bar.
Yeah,
For animated shows, like what I will always say that DC animated shows and movies are top tier and they're great.
Yeah.
I think that Invincible took that from DC and put it here.
Yeah.
And
you can still go back and watch those DC movies, man. You're gonna love them.
They're great.
Those animated movies are amazing.
They're great. And with Xmen 97,
I came into it expecting so little.
yeah.
It gave me more than I ever expected from this show.
Pause. And
The show.
And I think Invincible definitely set the bar.
Yeah.
X-Men met it.
Yeah, I think we're even at this point. At this point,
I think they're if there's any animated shows out there that you want to watch, man, X-Men, Invincible.
You can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. And
no,
I'm excited.
I'm gonna go a step further. If you want to watch any show, it doesn't matter if it's animated or not. These two shows are top notch.
Yeah, must see TV.
Top notch.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what
we're only a couple days away. Yep.
What the finale's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for season 2.
Yes.
And
very
if
much.
I gotta end on, we talked about Invincible. Yeah, I'm excited to see what
what's next. What's next?
Yeah, I'm I'm a fan.
Stay tuned, guys. As far as I know, I'm hyped just as much as you are. X-Men 97, great continuation to the original series thus far. I want to see what the season finale is. We're only a couple of days away from that. Guys, stay tuned to us. We're gonna be recording a few episodes in advance. Also, make sure to keep an eye out. We're gonna probably drop a video log of what we're doing in our overseas
so we going
adventures.
We are going to Santa Marta,
beautiful Santa Marta,
Colombia.
Yes. So we've both been there previously. We both loved that city, that town, that beach town. And so probably we're going to hopefully drop maybe maybe a 10-minute vlog here and there while we're out there. And yeah, keep tuned. Stay tuned. We're not gonna miss any weeks of the Drunken Idiots. If you are a fan of the show, you can definitely watch us here. We're gonna keep that going. Please share, subscribe, like all of that good stuff. We need your guys' help to get to 1,500 subscribers. That's the goal, and we're at 1,300 and plus. So
Thank you for the plus.
yeah, thank you for everybody that's joined us. Make sure you watch all of our playlists if you're here for the movies, because we are media. There's a playlist full of full feature length classic movies. If you're here for the reviews, we've got a playlist for all of our reviews. And of course, our Drunken Idiots podcast.
Yeah.
So, like I said, just like, share, and subscribe. And we'll join us next time, right?
Yep. And before we go,
Yeah.
I want you all in the comments, please let us give us a game that you want us personally to review.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
we'll go ahead, we'll play it, and then we'll review that game for you all.
Absolutely. So right now I'm doing a multi-part series on my old school Nintendo GameCube collection that I had over the years. And so, have a look out for that. That's been dropping midweek every week. As always, I'm Anthony, and
hey, I'm Chris.
And welcome. Thank you guys for joining us at Starflag Media. We'll see you guys next week.